almost like you don't have to be there.
There we go.
Hi, everyone. I'm Christina. I go to Wright State University, and we have a petitioning group there. I joined APO in September of 2019, so this is my second year in APO, and I'm the current president. But last year, I was also the VP of Service, and I have experience as VP of Membership this year, too.
And then my name is John Brentlinger. I joined APO fall of 2017 at Purdue University, so I'm a member of the Alpha Gamma chapter. I've held a variety of positions in my time in APO, currently as pledge trainer, and then in the past as sergeant at arms and as secretary. My apologies.
Okay, so there's a couple of reasons why using APOonline is a good resource. The first thing is that it's really easy to track all of your requirements as a member. You log on and it's right there on the first page. It's also easy to schedule events for your chapter, at least for like a calendar for your chapter to see other, just your stuff and not everything in the university. It connects chapters too. You can find people from all over the country, even, international through APO. So it's really nice if you want to co-host events with another chapter or something like that. It's a great resource. And then social networking, even as an alumni, you can go back and find people and connect that way.
Yeah, and there are multiple subscription tiers to the web service. You have your blue tier, which is $3 per member, then gold, which is $4, and diamond, which are $5. Each one has slightly different things that are offered. Whereas you go up in the tier levels, you get access to like an external web page and the ability to do like event check-ins on APOonline, as well as a handful of other things. You can find more information about that in the pricing guide. We're not sponsored by APOonline. Like we're just presenting on this because we think this is something that's really useful for a lot of chapters. It's a tool that we use and we really enjoy it.
Yeah, so when you log on to APOonline, if you've looked at it before, you know that there's 6 tabs, okay? You automatically are logged on to the home tab that shows your dashboard with all of your records, upcoming events that you've signed up for. If you are in a leadership position, you'll have that dashboard there for you to see right off the bat. Then there's a records tab that goes to your full profile. Some updates have happened, but that's where you go to see your profile now. Then you have the events tab. That's where you see the calendar, where you do anything to set up events. You can look at your chapter's calendar, you can look at the region's calendar, or you can look at the national calendar, so you can see what everybody's doing. The next one's members, where you can find any member in your chapter, even if it's an alumni. And you can also find members from other chapters as well. The Manage tab includes all of your officer dashboards. It's where you set up your membership requirements and your awards and all that fun stuff. And then More is just, the catch-all of everything that doesn't fit in any other tab. But you can upload things like your forms and your meeting minutes, and it has like a job dashboard as well.
Yeah. And then now we're gonna give you guys a little bit of a walkthrough of what the website looks like. So I'm gonna switch over to that. And I'm logged in on my chapter account. So this is what that main homepage looks like. So as you can see in our chapter, we have a lot of different requirements and different event types. So there's a lot that appears on my dashboard, but it can vary on based upon what requirements you have set up in the system. So for instance, you can see the amount of LD projects you've done in our chapter compared to requirements, or like we have 3 membership hours required and you can see how many I've done. And then when you hover over it, it gives you like an option to view the detailed record, view your standings in the chapter, and then related events under that topic in the calendar. And you can also show people as like a VP finance if they paid dues on here. So it can give someone kind of that visual tool as well to know whether or not that's been processed. And it'll also show you the upcoming events that you've signed up for. For instance, I'm signed up for this event today. And then also the budget, if you have a budget assigned as a member of an exec board or a position in your chapter, and then how many events are left to be completed if you have events that you are in charge of.
Sorry about the mower in the background. But this is your records page that shows everything about you. So when you go onto it, you see that that list of requirements again. Okay, and you can view and update it there. You can also at the top see your standings in the leaderboard for service hours. That's always a fun one. I always recommend for new students and just anyone in the chapter to add your picture, tell a little bit about yourself, because that's how we connect with people, especially right now with everything virtual. We don't see everybody, so it's nice to, you know, have that picture and everything. You can go to your timeline, which tells you everything that you've done since you've joined APO, any awards that you've received, any positions you've had. That's a nice thing to look at. Some of the stuff that on here you could really use for interviews and job applications to show that you have leadership qualities and that you've provided service to your community. Records, that's exactly what it is. It's records. It's your dashboard of records. Families can be complicated. As a petitioning group, I don't have a family. But John here has quite the family tree, so I hear. So yeah. And then achievements is all of your awards if your chapter uploads those. Yeah. Very nice, John.
And I really
ahead.
find the awards part of APOonline interesting because with achievements and awards, you can really find ways to incentivize attendance and things like that by giving kind of those little achievements that can help bring people out and kind of foster some friendly competition within the chapter about going to events. Like I find them really enjoyable.
I have to ask, what is the Bird Puppy Award?
That is a long story of an award that I can explain at a future date. But I was awarded that my pledged semester, and it's existed in our chapter for years. It's an interesting one with a long backstory.
Very nice.
But yeah.
Yeah. I also want to point out while we're here, if you go to open an account manager, that is where you decide what everybody gets to see. As you can see, John's contact preferences are all in green. You can contact him in any way possible. Okay, but that's where you can add all that information, including once you graduate, you can put in your degree and where you work and everything like that, and that helps with that networking after. All right.
And then on to the events tab. So the events tab is this wonderful tab that has your whole chapter calendar on it. So you have access to all of the events that are on your calendar. And it gives you filters by every single type of event that you have set up. So every single sort of credit. So for instance, all of our meetings show up under this orange color. So you can see that we had an in-person chapter meeting and Zoom chapter meeting and elections this week. And then also, our service hours show up in red and our membership hours in this purple color. So you can kind of see what all the events are. And if someone's looking for specific events, they can choose to filter down to, if they need just like a service hour, they can filter out all of the other events and whittle it down to just the service hour that they need. If they're looking for like something that is a service hour or a scouting project. And then on this page, you can look, when you click on like the section calendar or the region calendar, you can see all of the events that everyone's doing, which is super helpful, especially right now when you're looking at what sort of events are other chapters able to do right now, what sort of things are they trying. So you can look on here and see, okay, some groups are doing like Chipotle skip-a meals or dine to donates. Someone did a nostalgia movie night early this month, which is really cool. And you can look into that and see what sort of events other chapters are doing all around the region. And then there's a button up here that says create event, which is how you can go and create events for your chapter. And under that pane, you're able to give it a title, a date, put a location in, what sort of requirement you're giving that based upon the requirements that you've assigned when you go to set the website up. And then give it additional information. You can set lock times. So like people can't take their name off a certain amount of time beforehand, or like a certain close time where people can't sign up after a certain point if you need to know attendance by a certain time. And put like attendance caps, which are really useful right now in the world we live in, as well as ride numbers where you can require rides if you're driving off campus and you need to make sure you have enough seats for everyone. And then you can also delegate attendance and things like that in here. It's super useful in the way that it runs events. Our chapter has a lot of different people that are trying to help run a lot of different events. And we used to do paper signups in our office before we switched to APOonline, and APOonline has just consolidated that and made it so much easier for us. And there's a whole support staff that makes it so that if there are little things that go wrong technologically, it's not a member of your chapter that's trying to figure out what's going on.
All right, here under members, you can find every member ever from your chapter. It's nicely divided by like officers, who's active, who's not active, alumni. I think it has a spot for advisors. Anybody that you could possibly find is on here. If you have a really big chapter and you don't want to scroll through everybody, you can always type in the name in the search bar. But yeah, there's a lot of things that you can find on here. And if you are looking for somebody else from another chapter, say you did an inner chapter and met somebody, you can search for them in the search bar too by name, and it weeds out a lot. Yeah, like it's pretty straightforward with the membership tab. Yeah. You can also look at the top members under this tab as well, which is that leaderboard that you originally saw, but now it's for every requirement. So most people keep track of service hours. You know, that's probably the most competitive thing out of the leaderboards, maybe a meeting attendance, but yeah, you definitely want to get all those service hours in.
And it's really cool because you can also see them on like a sectional basis and a regional basis. So you can see like,
Yeah.
I guess how you compare to other people in the section, region, and even in the nation. So just a little bit of that competitive itch for those of you who are really competitive people.
Look at Liam Walsh up there in the first place. Service hours. I always look at the nation and I just think, how is that possible?
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
really impressive stuff.
Yeah.
And then under here, you can also see like that achievements part, and like how to assign like what achievements like a chapter would have. Some of ours are kind of joke ones.
John's chapter sounds really fun, guys. You can look at that family tree again there too. Yeah.
Yeah, our family tree, I think it might pull up. It gives us it's broken, because we have such a weird cobweb of family trees. It's interesting. But yeah. And then recently, this is the fun part for those of you that are officers, is the manage tab. So the manage tab recently got really revamped. So it looks a lot different. And on here, there's a button up here that says progress report, which is super useful if you're trying to find like the numbers for everyone in your chapter. So you can click on that and pull an Excel spreadsheet of everyone's hours based upon like what member status they are or what certain kinds of events. And you can pull like emails and things like that if they have it in there. So you're able to keep track of who's missing what requirements. And like, for instance, in our chapter, we've been able to figure out, is there a certain requirement that people are lagging behind in? And then if so, we can then compensate by offering more of that event to try to help get people closer to finishing their requirements.
That's really
And then
nice.
yeah, I love that part. Like that's my favorite part. I'm a nerd when it comes to numbers. Like I'm a big number person, so I like seeing all of the data and being able to do like histograms and stuff. And then we also have an ability to see like there are certain events that like some of our events need to be completed because some of our e-board members haven't yet gotten around to completing them. So they can see that and go, oh, okay, this event needs to be completed today. So they can click on that and then credit the hours for the individuals who went. So it'll tick through the system. And you can also do things that are like inviting members. I've never used the balloting system, but there's apparently awards balloting offered on here as well, if that's something that you guys are interested in looking into. You can run finances through here and then have an external website, blog posting, photo albums on some of the tiers. If you're in that like higher level tier, you can also run fundraising campaigns through the website, which is really cool. I learned about that recently as we were prepping for this, and I was like, that's really cool. I didn't know that was offered. And then you can also set up like achievements under here and set up like your chapter awards, like creating awards and then crediting them to members and things like that. But that's pretty much under the manage tab. It's kind of a catch-all for a lot of the back end sorts of things.
Okay, so under more, you have a couple different things. You have all your forms that you might need to complete. You can submit your meeting minutes, which is actually really nice. There's a job board. So if you are graduating soon and you're looking for a career, like mine would probably be in healthcare, I could click on healthcare and see if there's any alumni in the area. Any jobs posted. Yeah. So that's really nice to be able to connect and try to find a job that way. My advisor actually just recently got a job mostly because she was an APO alumni because somebody else in the company was. So they recommended her. So that's really nice for networking after graduating. Um, You can also connect your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram pages, uh, your chapter website, any of that on there, and you can give feedback. So there's like a comment form and a feedback form, and that can be helpful for like the exec team, especially at the beginning of the year or something, and you're still learning, how you want to run things, and people can give back comments there. You're doing a really good job, or maybe we should try this, or yeah, that's always fun. That's pretty much it for the more tabs. Um, yeah, I think it's kind of the weird catch-all of things that don't fit anyplace else, but they're still really important things. So yeah, they just kind of get left there.
So do any of you guys have any questions or anything that you want us to go like more in detail into about APOonline?
So for me, this may be an obvious question once I get in, but so I'm an alumnus. I assume my APOonline account is still connected to my home chapter, or does it kind of change once you transition from active to alumni?
It should still be connected to your original chapter.
So then I can kind of like peek in, see what they're up to. If I'm in town, like, oh, what's going on? It should all still be there then.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it should be. Yeah.
Cool.
Actually,
And I,
we have a member, a grad student in our chapter that I don't know why, but when he joined us, he made an all new account. So you can search his name now and find his old chapter, like his old account from his chapter in Florida. So yeah, he says it's cringeworthy.
Oh.
and then Megan, I see a hand.
Hi there. So this is actually Michaela. I'm with Megan right now.
Okay.
So thank you for putting this on, John and Christina also. But I have a question. So I remember when I was doing like a video recording, trying to figure out how like APOonline for like our exec, and I did like kind of like a walkthrough like you guys. And I saw somewhere that you can actually create like a survey, like basically kind of like a feedback thing for events. Do you know how exactly to do that? I cannot recall where exactly, but I've seen it somewhere.
Why do I feel like I saw that?
Because I think it may be when you generate event, maybe, but I don't have access to that anymore. But I remember, and I thought that was really neat so that you can continuously get feedback if that's what they would like to see.
I did not know that was a feature. That's interesting. So APOonline has so many features. It's so easy to just like not really know everything that's going on and then slowly stumble across ones and be like, oh, that's so cool. I did not know that was a thing at all. But yeah, I'll look into that. I think I might have seen it at some point, but I don't know particularly where it is.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was like at the end when like you have to complete the event and it gives you an option to send it out to those people, and maybe that, but yeah.
Let's see, do I have any? I can pop into. Actually, no one made it to last night, so I can look. I don't know. Also, when you go to complete events, for those of you who haven't used APOonline, you can go in and type in, like you can add a member and then type in what amount they are awarded, or go to like a checklist and just click off the people who attended if that's easier. Those are both options. I don't know.
Another thing, if you go to the events and you see a event on the calendar that you want to attend and you want to sign up for it, I always tell my members they don't usually remember to sign up for the event ahead of time, but I always make a point that it's easier for exec to know that you already signed up because it's going to pop up there when we complete the event, and rather than trying to figure out, okay, who actually attended this event. Yeah, so it's easier that way. But when you sign up for an event and say you've talked to your friend that's also an APO and they're going to it too, you can sign both of you up at the same time. Yeah, and then you can just be like, okay, I'll sign you up, you know. So do we have any other questions?
I think it looks like the forms one might be up here, but I also don't have privileges to that because I'm no longer involved with webmastering. So that might be it. I don't know.
It's always nice when you find that you don't have privileges.
That's one of the other nice things about it is you can segment down privileges depending on like who needs access to what. So you don't have, not everyone has to have access to everything. So like your webmaster can have all the access to the things that they need, but like you don't have to give like extra privileges to other members of the chapter that don't really need access to like editing events, editing user statuses, and like things like that. Yes.
Hello. Thank you for hosting this event, first off. I'm actually a pledge at the Alpha Iota chapter at Ohio State. And we use APOonline a good amount, but I guess I found it interesting when you were going over like the schedules for like chapters around the region, and being able to see what events other chapters are putting on. But I couldn't help but notice that like you couldn't quite filter those by like what kinds of events they were. Like,
Mhm.
oh, like let's see what service events like the Alpha Gamma chapter is doing. Um, so like, is that something that's possible? And like maybe just something I didn't really notice, or
So from what I've noticed, if you click on like, I think recycling is a service project that another chapter is doing. Um, oh, well, because it already passed, I can't use it. But you can click on like one of the upcoming service events, like this free rice one. Um, and then you can sign up to this one that Zeta Delta is putting on if you'd like to attend, and like kind of toss your hat in the ring. But because every chapter does requirements a little differently, it might not map fully one-to-one to exactly what your chapter does, but you can also click the add this event to my chapter's calendar, so we'll create that as a duplicate on yours, which then you can credit how that would affect in your system. Since I know we have like LD hours as a requirement, and I know not a lot of chapters have like a structured LD program or requirements around the LD program, to like name a few. So like it might be a little different on a chapter to chapter basis, but that's kind of how I think you would go about that.
okay, thank you.
Yeah, I
No
actually
problem.
just recently linked another chapter's event to mine because it was Michaela Lehman's Canva event. Yeah, so that's kind of nice. If you know somebody that's presenting or something, you can share that with your chapter as well and get more people there for them.
Yeah, I think it's especially useful right now with a lot of things being virtual, is the fact that I know like some chapters have been having like attendance issues and like it's kind of hard to get people out to virtual events. But being able to invite people around the region to events can really help. And also I find it enjoyable meeting all of you guys from around the region, because there'd be very few other times where I get a chance to do something like that. So I think it's something that a lot of us could really take advantage of over the next few months as we continue on in the environment we're in right now.
Adam, how are you this morning? Maybe.
Did you say something?
I asked how you were.
Oh, I'm doing quite lovely. How are y'all doing today?
Pretty good. Do you have any questions for us?
No, not really. My chapter doesn't use APOonline, so I'm just here kind of learning about it. So in case we want to transition into it, we can.
Sounds good. Yeah, I know there's like a lot you can do with APOonline. I know my chapter, Back to Those Tears, has the gold one, and you can do a lot. I don't really notice anything that's like, man, I wish I could do this. But John, I think you have the blue one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it can be really nice to scale it how your chapter kind of needs it. Because, for instance, we already have our own external website that we created. So we didn't need to have them provide that for us, because we got it for free through our university and we're running that. So we could save $1 per member by not using that part. But if that's something that you're looking into and you don't have someone in your chapter that's like in web design or someone who does stuff like that, we just happen to be lucky at the time, honestly. But you can end up using it for that, and it makes life so much easier. So it's kind of just, it offers all sorts of different things you might need at different packages, but they also allow you to scale it back if you don't really need the full gamut of possibilities.
Yeah. Do you guys have anything else that you want to explore further?
Also, if you just have questions about like not just AP Online, but about other APO stuff, we have a handful of minutes still left before we transfer over to the next event. So like feel free to use this time as just like hanging out and asking questions.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Hi, so I have a question again. I know that John can't necessarily show this, but Christina, you're president, right?
Yes.
Okay, would you be able to share your screen? Because I know that John won't have necessary access to it. What exactly does like the more and setting privileges for your officers look like?
Okay, let me bring up AP Online first.
Because I know for our chapter, like pledge masters don't really have much access. So like altering that so that they can at least generate a report off of pledges and seeing or completing like pledge planned events would help beneficial.
Okay. Let me see if I can find it. I've never really messed with it. I do feel like last year I had more privileges than I needed as service VP, but
I mean,
okay,
they are second underneath president, so it makes sense.
yeah, it's just funny now. I go to like someone will be like, I'm having trouble submitting service hours for this. Can you do it for me? It won't let me do it. Like, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to go to someone else. Yeah. Okay, so I just went to account types and privileges under manage. Okay. Those are our types. Let's see here. Officer positions and privileges. There we go. What exactly are you looking for?
So ours is like a pledge master, but I'm not seeing anything like that for you.
Yeah, because we don't have a pledge program yet because we're still
yeah.
not
So it would I mean it would be neat to see what like historian or maybe public relations chair has.
Okay.
And then like what are the options that you can give them? I think that's the biggest thing.
What? Maybe I clicked on the wrong thing. There we go. Okay.
Oh, wow. That is a lot that you can give.
I mean, honestly, we don't have a historian, so so this has probably never been looked at.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's see here. We apparently allow them to approve photo album images. They can do the blog posts, post announcements, bulk emails, bulk text, which is funny because I don't think our that's one of the things that comes with the diamond tier. We don't have that, but it's listed on here. You can manage the families, manage achievements, and I don't know why they would manage the meeting minutes. I'm honestly gonna switch that. That's definitely a secretary job. Yeah, and then at the bottom it says manage other non-associated events. Yeah. Does that help you at all?
Yeah, this helps me a lot. This is definitely like ours could be updated maybe for a few different ones just because it's hard for some people that's like, oh, I have to talk to this person now. Like,
yeah.
Okay, neat. Thank you.
Yeah. Do you want to look at any other positions that we apparently have?
Is there anything that you want to look at, Megan?
I think I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. I'm glad I could help you with that. Also, if you are a petitioning group, you have extra things on your front page. So we have charter progress. So, and you can sign up, which it always pops up on mine. I am signed up already for our reminders, but yeah, it sends out a weekly schedule of events every Sunday, which is pretty nice. I highly recommend it.
Oh, two things we can also mention. You see that there's like a gold number in the upper right corner. That'll give you like a pop-up every time an event's completed that you've been to. So it's kind of nice where you can see, oh, I got that service hour. That's cool. So it tells you that that happened.
You can also send messages. So I'm just gonna go ahead and see if I can message Carly. They changed a few things, so yeah. So I'm gonna go up. Carly's my secretary. Obviously, I probably wouldn't send her a message on here. I'd just text her. But say you met somebody from another chapter, you don't have their email or their number or anything. You could look them up and then send them a message. You know, hey, I really liked how you came to my event, or if you wanted to connect, say I was a service VP and I wanted to do a service event with another chapter near me, you could send them a message that way too. And their notification would be up in that little box that was yellow, but I looked at all of my stuff. So yeah, that's pretty nice. I actually did that last year with, for that reason, for service event with UD, so.
Also, like the charter progress part for petitioning groups, you can run pledge program of excellence and chapter of excellence stuff on APOonline where you can check off the boxes as you're doing things. So it gives like a central place for you to have a list. I learned about that last semester and it's really nice, especially as like a pledge trainer.
Did we go around before and see where everyone was from?
I don't
I
think
came in
so.
a minute late. Do you want to do that?
Yeah, how about we do that?
Okay. Let's start with Katie.
So I'm an alumna of Theta Upsilon up in Cleveland, Case Western Reserve University. I graduated there in 2014 now, and I sit on region staff with Brittany as the information officer.
Nice. That's exciting.
Yes, love it.
Megan.
Hello, my name is Megan. I am a junior and I'm in the Zeta Lambda chapter at University of Toledo, and I am currently serving as the secretary.
Very nice. And did you say Michaela's with you?
Yep, she's right beside me.
Hi, my name is Michaela Lehman, and I am a senior. I'm graduating this semester, so I'm officially done almost. And then I'm currently Sergeant at Arms and also Pledge Master.
Very cool. Bobby.
Yes, I am a second year at Ohio State. I am currently pledging. And yeah, it's been great so far. It's been nice to know everyone in my chapter and all that, and they're all very welcoming, and it's been nice. And they recommend I come to sectional. Thus, here I am.
It's so exciting to see the new pledges and everyone coming to events like this. I know I hosted Jeopardy last night, and quite a few of them were new to APO, so that was very exciting to see. Adam.
Hi everyone, my name's Adam Tippett. I'm from Alpha Eta Rho here in Lancaster, Ohio. I currently serve as their president. So nice to meet all of you and nice to see y'all that I've seen before. So thank you.
All right, I think that's everyone. It's nice to see a variety of people on here.
I really enjoy these regional events, just getting to meet people from like all sorts of other chapters and from like all sorts of different years in APO as well. Like I always get excited to see pledges. Like there's a reason why I serve as pledge trainer this semester, is because I just absolutely love bringing new members into the program. And as a pledge, I wish I'd gotten a chance to take advantage of like conferences like this, because it wasn't something that I had even really thought of at the time. So that's like really awesome.
Right. I always recommend signing up for all of that, even voting delegate. I'm like, you're going to meet people from all over doing this stuff, going to conferences and just all like the little extra things. Plus, they really do help you develop leadership skills and stuff, and help with what you can do for your chapter.
Well, I think we're approaching the end of our time. So up next, I believe we have the What the Finance event. I remember that one. And then we have, let's see.
Is it managing social media?
Or I think some things moved around recently. It's balancing exec structures with Connor Bradford, which is our H3 chair. And then in the service room, I'll be hanging out and doing some Red Cross mapping, which if you guys swing by there, I can show you what it is. It's a really cool project. But yeah, that's about all we have.
All right. You guys have
Thank
a good
you
day.
both. This was great. Learned a lot.
Yeah, thanks for coming out.
Thank you. I'm glad you guys have learned something from this.